Today's going to be really quick. The whole idea with these meetings, everybody, is that the format is going to be um, uh, 15 to 20 minutes max. We're going to give you one solid tip. After that, we'll open it up, stick around, talk to people one-on-one, whatever we got to do for as long as we need to. But our objective is to just give you one thing that's solid that you can take away. Last week was kind of an intro. I'll give everybody a link before we're done where you can go and reference recordings of old events and things like that. Hang on, let me just get something up here. Let's go with the Twistle Social page. And by the way, when you set up a page on Facebook, that's how you access your pages. You can always click the little down arrow, see all your pages, pick what page you want to go to, and sure enough, here, that's interesting. You can see your page, and then you control your page either through settings where you're setting your page up, or if you click the three little dots right here, you can go down to your ads manager, which is where you can manage all of your advertising, promotion, things like that. So let's go to audiences. So once I go to my ad manager, I will go to audiences. Give it a minute to load. And let me change accounts so I'm in an account with a lot more audiences. They manage a lot of accounts. And here we go. So today, if you remember when we went through the PowerPoint the other day, just to kind of refresh, the whole idea is we're going to get you a whole lot of people, all of these three things. This is giving you a lot of people that you can hit over and over. Then we'll get into the content. What do you send them? What buys brain cells? What makes it impossible for them to forget you? And then we'll get into how do you maximize the reach. Remember, it's reach, impact, and frequency. That's all that matters in marketing. How do you reach a lot of people? You give Zuckerberg his due. You got to pay. There is no shortcutting this. You don't got to pay a lot. You just got to pay a little, but you're going to get crap, lousy service at any restaurant. If you're the person who never ever tips, you need to give Zuckerberg his tips. Then we're going to work on impact, and the impact is just what are you posting? That's your content. And most people post garbage that is annoying and everybody scrolls by and nobody interacts with. Nobody interacts with it. Facebook goes, nobody likes your stuff, so we're not going to show your stuff to anybody, as opposed to everybody loves your stuff, so we're going to show it to more and more and more people. It's got to be impactful. It's got to, and very simply, on this, on the impact, on the content you post, it's the rule of awe. If it doesn't make them say ah, then you are wasting your time. And the ahs, there's 6 of them, but it's ah, cute, puppies, babies, whatever. Ah, that's the most popular form of content, stuff that warms the heart. Next is ah, shock. Oh my God, did you see that? It's the, you know the stuff. It's like, wow, I can't believe that just happened. That's the second ah. Third ah is aha, laughter, and humor is always great. Ah, anger, ah, damn it, sign the petition. That's the fourth ah is the ah, anger. And then the aha. Oh my gosh, that's very interesting. Hot tip. That's the kind of stuff we're going to hopefully give you some ahas here today. And the last one is the awe-inspiring, the motivational tips, the amazing photos, whatever. I am awe-stricken. But if it doesn't have one of those 6 ahs, don't post it. Some wow factor. When you want to put up your next new listing, don't just say, here is my new listing at 125 6th Street. There's no awe in that. Nobody cares about that. But if I put up a post that said, best gourmet kitchen on the market under 500,000, 3 best man caves in Phoenix, currently listed in Phoenix, something like that. Anything that's a story that makes me curious. I want to see the gourmet kitchen, the man cave, the best backyard, the best house for pets, the best house for entertaining, whatever. Give me a reason, make me curious, so that I will click on it. And then everything else is the frequency, and that's the key of having an audience and not wasting your money and marketing to the whole world over and over and over. So there's kind of a summary of the secrets of marketing. So with that little summary, and by the way, John Callahan, thank you very much for the feedback on yesterday's live event. And he brought up that I don't emphasize this quite emphatically enough, that 78% of your business comes from people who know you, 11% comes from strangers that you advertise to, or the money you spend on advertising. And we all think that we get all this business, but we're a little delusional, and it's just these 2 slides. But yeah, this isn't a mind-blowing stat. This is year after year, NAR does this research. And the numbers are almost identical for mortgage, almost identical for financial planning, insurance agents, any professional services. And essentially, think of it this way, about 3/4 of your past clients love you, and another 11 or 12% like you enough that collectively 86% of your past clients say that they would use you again and or refer people to you. And then the mind-blowing stat is 10% ever actually reuse you or refer you. More interestingly, it's almost 90% of your past clients can't remember your name 12 months after you close a transaction with them. And we did all these interviews and whatnot in which we asked people, so how was your loan officer? How was your agent? How was your, and oh, my realtor was awesome, loved her. Fantastic. We're actually looking for somebody we can refer, or I'm needing one right now. Can you tell me your name? Oh, and they can't ever remember the person's name. It was started with an S. It was Susan or Cheryl or, I don't know, Shirley, something like that. Much less, do you have her phone number? Oh, God, if I dug through my emails, maybe, but no, they don't. It's not anywhere. So we're not nearly as memorable. So the number one goal to change your life is to make it impossible for people to forget you. If we can do that, because yeah, I got 10% of it and 76% slipped through my fingers, you're talking about growing your business 4-fold, 5-fold. That's what's possible by making it impossible for people to forget you. And if you don't believe me, all you got to do, go to Facebook, scroll through 2 weeks of posts, and see how many people you find that have done some sort of a transaction and you missed it. And most people will find 1, 2, 3 transactions in the last 2 weeks of posts if they actually do this. And you think about that, wait a minute, I just lost 2 deals in 2 weeks. That's 4 deals a month. That's 48 deals a year with people that would have used me if they didn't forget about me. So that's our objective with everything we do, make you unforgettable to anybody you want. First things first. We're going to go through and we're going to talk about target audiences today. So your target audience, remember there's only 2 marketing functions, growing a database, nurturing a database. I'm going to make it impossible for people to forget me, nurture, and we'll spend the next year teaching nurture just more and more and more every week. But right now, grow. So there's my friends. That's everybody that I've ever had an interaction with. Anybody that I've ever shaken hands with, that you've actually met. And Gary Keller actually broke it down like this, and I love him for it because it's always been complicated. I had too many categories. Keller Williams just broke it down and said there's the Mets and the unmets. These are people you've met. These are people you haven't met. And then a gentleman named Mark Schaefer broke it down further by pointing out that when he went out and raised $6,500 with his social media and his 70,000 followers that shared his post to 3.5 million people, that $180 of that money, that $6,500 came from all of the people that he was friends with online and that shared and everything. And the other $6,000 came from the 400 people he had actually met. Just really boils down to he or she with the most friends win. So how do I make friends? So let's do this. When you go in, and let me back up, I just did this for you, but let me back up just so you can, if you're in Facebook and you have a page. And by the way, for those of you at CMG, if you go to CMG Marketing at cmgfi.com, the marketing department will help you set up your page. And then we're going to help you do all the right stuff with it once you have it. If you've already got a page, but all of your friends aren't moved over, remember we shared that link with you last week at marketing3.com. You can go see the link to migrate and migrate all your friends to a page. They'll help you redo your page and move all of your friends, migrate your friends to fans, so that if you got 770 friends, you got 770 fans instantly ready to go. Well, once you have your page and they're all moved over, and okay, here's my page, I go to my page, whatever it is, I click on this, I go to the ad manager, and there's a lot of ways to navigate around Facebook. Don't worry about it. You'll go up to Facebook ads and you'll say audiences. And I'll have to change this because I'm in the wrong account. So let me just change it to a different account. Twisted Social, LLC. And now we can see all of our audience. But you'll see a spot when you get into your account where you can now create an audience. And when you go to create an audience, there's three kinds: custom, lookalike, and saved. Custom, by the way, this is what you click and you upload your LinkedIn. You click and you upload your Gmail, your AOL address, your Yahoo, your Hotmail, your old Calyx Point files, top producer files, whatever you got, lead files. You can just shove anything in there you want. You can upload as many as you want, as often as you want. We'll get into this in detail in the next meeting, but today we're looking at saved or target audiences. This is Grow. This is your digital super farm. These are people that are like you. So I was playing around for the event yesterday with Carlos Montoya. Carlos is a imaginary person that I made up, and I went in and started creating an audience for him. So when I did this audience, you can see that my audience for Carlos, I had people that spoke English between 44 and 64. See, the biggest problem is we're always trying to create, it's what's your market? Phoenix. Where in Phoenix? I'll drive anywhere for a deal. Who do you want to market to? People, what age group? Oh, I'll do anything from 20 to 90. I don't care. I'll work with anybody. Yeah. We're trying to narrow it down to the smallest possible audience. So you can see right now I've got Carlos at 13,000 people. That's going to cost Carlos, think of it this way, about $650 a month. If he can afford a couple $100 a week, 150 to 200, he's good. Plan on spending, and you'll get it down. You'll get it down to half of this over time, but I'd rather you have better results than you expect. Plan on about a nickel per person. We're farming, good, effective farming, 33 high-end postcards a month, blah, 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 blah. Used to cost me $30 a year per person. Plan on it being about a nickel a month or about 60 cents a year. As long as you're pulling 1/4% from your farm, your digital super farm, you're gold. You're, great. I farm 1,000 people. I get, 2.5 deals a year, 1/4% in the first year. The next year I'll be up closer to a whole percent if I'm doing it right. And after a couple of years, I'll be at 2%. But let's say you never get past that 1/4% where you should be out of the gate within 3 to 6 months. 1/4%, 1,000 people, cost me $600, got 2.5 deals. That's great. I'm spending $250 a deal. Great. I got a 13,000 person database. I'm Carlos Montoya, and I'm spending a nickel per person. What is that? $650 a month. $650 a month, but I'm getting 1/4% from that, which is what, 25 and 7.5, 32.5 deals. I'm getting 32.5 deals a year. If I'm making $6,000 a deal, $6,500 is the average commission, I think. Last I read, great, I'm making a couple $100,000 and it's costing me 65, what is that? 65 and 13 is $7,800 a year. $7,800 is my marketing budget, $650 a month, and I'm making a couple $100,000. That's a no-brainer. You should be spending 10% of whatever you want to make at any given point. Anyway, so the goal is to get this number down. So when you go in to create an audience, and you can see here, I got people who are likely to move, and you can go and research and see, well, how does Facebook know they're likely to move? Facebook tracks everything we do. They know what we're doing. They know what we're liking. They know what we're reading. They know what videos we're watching. They know what we're thumbing up, what we're sharing. They know what websites we're going to after we leave. They know what searches we're doing. They know how much time we're spending looking for houses online. And on top of all of our behavior on Facebook, they also know, damn, they know everything. Read your Facebook terms of usage sometime. They're allowed to listen to your phone calls. They're allowed to film you. They're allowed to do anything they want. It's ridiculous. Deal with it. There's no such thing as privacy. Well, on top of that, they buy the Acxiom database, the CoreLogic database, and they buy all the data from everybody, aggregate it all. They know 100,000 plus variables on every one of us, so they know when you are highly likely to move based on everything in your life. They know if you are a highly likely first-time home buyer. Yep, they're renting, they're looking for homes, they've got good, they're doing, and they know. I also know. So for Carlos, I said, oh yeah, he's a young guy, 40 years old, and he's a techie, and he likes early adopters, and he likes gadget enthusiasts and big spenders who spend too much money, and what the whole idea is to find people you can be friends with. Yesterday I mentioned I'm doing a lot of these events that the top financial planning trainer in the industry says he does business with 3 people. Cornhuskers, wine lovers, and private pilots, because if he meets any one of those people, and it's easy to meet them at pilot events, wine tasting events, Cornhusker games, whatever, if he meets one of those people, they've got something to talk about. They're going to bond. That's it. They're going to be friends, because it's all about he or she with the most friends wins. And if I got a friend who happens to be an agent or an LO, beautiful, that's who I want to work with. People want to do business with people they like. So you can narrow this down by thousands and thousands of variables, including he excluded, by the way, I'm not recommending anybody do anything. There's no legal advice in this. So CFP auditor who is watching this recording, I definitely don't think a loan officer should ever exclude people who don't make enough money. I'm not sure if that's redlining or not, or whose net worth, but Carlos went in here and said, if their net worth is below 25 grand, no, I don't want them to see my stuff. If they make less than 75,000 a year, I don't want them to see my stuff. That's the kind of targeting you can do. So now let's just do your own, and let's do one hypothetically. There's a few people that aren't muted here. Bruce Kimball, Chuck Biggs, John Callahan. There's a couple John Callahans here. I'd love to just make an audience for somebody if anybody wants to chime in. So let's just do this. Saved audience. 11:36. We started at 11:15, but we're about 5 minutes late starting. So we're going to do this in 3 minutes so that we actually have it down to 2 minutes. So here we go. Audience name. This is fine. We'll just do John Biggs. Make a combination of you two guys. And custom audiences. Do I want to add my custom audience, which is the one you uploaded? Yeah, you might want to. But for now, we're just going to go for target. Where? I can do it by zip code. I'm at 85255. And sure enough, I just added that zip code, and you can see it only gave me, if you can see my screen, my exact zip code that I live in. And everybody that's in my zip code, which is roughly 25,000 people. Or I can go here and I say, you know what? I want a little bit more territory. So I'm going to go ahead and drop. Well, it's not going to let me drop a pin. I'm going to drop Big gum thing. All right, I'm gonna get rid of my zip code, then I'm gonna drop a pin. There we go. Close. There we go. Now I'm gonna come up here and finally, it wouldn't let me grab it, guys. So where am I? Greyhawk Country. Yep, that's me. That's where I live. Now I got a pin on my house. Where do I want to work? I want to work within 10 miles. No, I want to work within 16 miles of my house. I can also do city plus 10 miles. Drop a pin anywhere. Do 25 miles around it. I can do a state. I can do a region. Just play with it. So me, I'm going to market to people, and now I got a 1,100,000 people within 16 miles of my house. It's too freaking crowded here. I need to move. And yeah, I would gladly work with anybody, but people I'm going to relate to the best are probably no more than 10 years off of me. So I'm going to go, yeah, give me 45 to 64. I don't want 64, 65 plus yet. English, because I am not multilingual. And I'm going to, so now I got men and women. And don't be afraid. Again, we're not looking to say, who would I do business with? We're saying, I can only afford to market to 10,000 people. So let me market to the 10,000 very best people. And you know what? I'm kind of an effeminate guy. I'm a nice decorator. I prefer working with women. They're just easier. And men are all freaking grinders and have ADD. So yeah, I'm just going to work with women. And now I've got 150,000 people. Okay, women between 45 and 64. Hell, I wish I knew this when I was single and dating. Oh, now I got English. Now, what do I want? Well, and you can see here, I've got suggestions popping up based on stuff I've done in the past. I like to do people that are active on Active Rain, people that follow Gary Keller's personal page, people that follow Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, top producer, Keller Williams Realty. Well, that's realtors. I don't want realtors. So yeah, let's just do, how about likely to move? And what is this here? And by the way, you can always see, Facebook will tell you. So here's 3 million people who, based on the partner Epsilon that provides all the model and the compilation, combination of self-reported data, online survey, panelists, tax assessor information, deed information, on and on and on and on, that these 3 million people are highly likely to move. And I gotta tell you, not enough people market to these. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I like likely to move, so we'll take them. But once I get one thing in here, I just start using suggestions. Yes, people who are interested in buying a house, people who are house hunting, people who are interested in a new home, people, now look, you go in here and go, yeah, people who are interested in their first home, sure, I'll take that suggestion. What about a starter home? Yeah, that's a good one. How about first time buyer? Sure. Realtor.com, 800,000 people. What are these interests? People who have expressed an interest in or like pages related to Realtor.com. So Realtor.com has 4 pages on Facebook, and anybody who's liked their page is going to show up here. Well, yeah, that's probably good if they like Realtor.com. And if they like Zillow, hell yeah, I just, for the sheer principle of stealing one of those 17 million people from Zillow. But wait a minute. Ooh, I'm up to 36,000. No, that's too much. And the whole goal when you're building your custom audience is to come in here and overbuild. Just start accepting everything. Don't be picky. You want to get your audience way too big and then whittle it back down, because by picking these things, it gives Facebook more suggestions, more ideas to create suggestions. So now I can come down here and go, people who've shown interest in FSBOs, yeah, what the hell? I got a good program for whatever. Those are bargain hunters. I know what to, and I'm just gonna, but now, again, 11,000 people, that's pretty good. I'm looking for about 10,000 so I can spend 500 a month. Everybody can spend 500 a month. Everybody can, and quickly you'll get it up to at least 1,000. That should get you a couple deals a month consistently. And then it should get cheaper and you should get more. But you got to start and you got to stick with it. Because remember, it's about repetition, familiarity. So now that I get too many and buying and selling, and by the way, we're still interests. There are demographics. So here are 24, this audience segment targets consumers who are likely to be first-time home buyers based on experience information, model of renters likely to be in the market for the first home, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God. Hello, Home Fund Me. Here's 24 million people who are likely first-time home buyers. Oh, you know what? I'd also like renters who are likely first. And by the way, I'm doing or. So if I wanted renters, here's 67 million renters. Ooh, wait a minute. No. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do and. So you can do or, and, or not. And I realize we're over 20 minutes, but this one's just big. I think we'll have to do another session on it. I want people who are renters and likely first-time home buyers, meaning their income, all the other factors that are being measured, and everything is being measured, by the way. Everything is being measured by everybody. Target knows your due date better than your obstetrician does. Look it up. Modeling behavior. Your 780 FICO is no safer than somebody who just bought felt pads to put it on the bottom of their chairs to keep from scratching the floors, statistically speaking. And your 580 FICO is no riskier than somebody who just bought a chrome skull insert to put in their trailer hitch receiver on the back of their pickup. And we draw all these covariant models together based on all this information. And I'm sorry, quite often, Facebook knows what we're going to do better than we do. We don't realize that we're building up to some behaviors. So I can do renting and highly likely to buy a home and whatever, make this much money. Those are and. I got to meet both criteria. Or I can do or. So right now we said they're a highly likely first-time buyer. They are interested in FSBOs. They're currently house hunting. They're interested in their first home. They're buying a home. And these are all or. And now I can come down and go, exclude people. Who do I want to exclude? I want to exclude, this one was really funny the other day, working with a realtor. She wanted to exclude people that were too far right. So Rush Limbaugh. And people who like the Rush Limbaugh show and who like his personal page, Rush Limbaugh. They're out. 2.7 million people. And if they're Rush Limbaugh fans, we're not going to be friends. Why market with people you aren't going to be friends with, right? They're not worth hanging out, having a beer or glass of wine or Starbucks with. Why bother? So those are out, but narrow. I also want to narrow this, and that's where I want to exclude people, or I want to include people. I want to match people that have a certain income, that have whatever, and you name it. And if my audience gets way too big, so hang on, let me just go see where I'm at. 30,000. Damn it, that's too big. I can't afford it. I only got $500. So I want to have 10, maybe 12 or 13,000, but I need to narrow this further. So how do I narrow it down? And if I wanted first-time buyers, I would come into narrow, and I would say, well, and they're renting. Renters, demographic, 67 people who are currently renting. That's their demographic qualifier. 14,000. There are 14,000 renters that match all my other criteria. Hello, I got a no down payment program for you with reasonable qualifying criterion. There's my audience. That's what I'm looking for. And by the way, if you go, nah, I don't like first-time buyers, I prefer to do, and you name it. So, you know what? I'm going to come back down here, and I'm going to get rid of renters, and I'm going to go, how about veterans? And I'm going to go for veterans. people who like the veterans, people who, and look at all the veteran stuff. And I can just go through and start picking. When you do this, set aside 2 hours and dig and dig and dig. Think about other people that have your customer. I worked with a financial planner the other day, and I'm like, tell me which of the TV celebrity or radio celebrity people you're most, and he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm kind of a Rick Edelman guy. So Rick Edel, maybe I don't know how to spell Rick. Doesn't it have an R-I-C? Was it Rick? Rick Edel. Uh-oh, I lost it. Try this again. How about Dave Ramsey? Easier to spell. Dave Ramsey. Oh, there we go. Here's 2.8 million people that like Dave Ramsey. And I think I also saw, Susie Orm. Oh, Dave Ramsey show. There's another 2,000, like his TV show. And, Susie Orm. Orman. So now I've got all these people that like, and you can literally target your friends or competitors or other people that have, you're just trying to think, who is the person that I want? You know what? I like working with smart loan officers. It's my favorite thing. I love working with smart loan officers. And not to say somebody's not smart if they don't do this, but anybody that uses Mortgage Coach is freaking smart. And so I'm going to go to Mortgage Coach. And yep, there it is. So there we go. There's all the Mortgage Coach. And then, God, does Dave have a personal page? Let's go with Dave Savage. Nope, I don't see a page for Dave. Oh, it went away. And I'm going to just keep going through MBS, the Mortgage Animals, Carl White. And I'm going to find, and some pages show up and some don't. And sometimes I'll jump over to Facebook and I'll do searches on Facebook for pages. And then I'll copy the name of the page. It comes after facebook.com and then their username or their page name. And I'll search for that. And the whole idea is just spend hours on this, because you're going to work the same group for the next 5 years. And you might tweak it a little bit. Get it right the first time, because when somebody's seen you 20 or 30 times, they know you. They literally subconsciously believe they know you. If they see you in the store, if they meet you, if they think they know you. And that's what you're trying to do, is get this down to where you've got 10,000 people. Whoops, 20 people. I got a little aggressive. Because they had to be this and that. So I had renting, first-time home buyer, blah, 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 that use Mortgage Coach. So we'll get rid of that. We can do an or, but now I'm back up to 30. And they're only women. Damn. You know what? Little old. There we go. 45 to 60 now. 26 is still too much. I'm going to must also match income. Damn, I really wish this did exist when it was time to go hunting, because whoops, income. People who are interested in income? No, people who income, I can't spell income, is, and then I just start adding them. Let's go with 100,000 and up. 125, and my mouse is sketching here, excuse me. We'll move up to 250, 250 to 350, 350 to 500, 500 and up, million to 2, and 750 to 999. This is my sugar mama. I could have just retired if I knew this when I was single. And now I've got 14, that's perfect. I got 14,000 women in my market who are looking to buy a home, who are interested in, and who make at least 100,000 a year. There's my audience, but don't stop there. Just keep digging, keep looking. Find people that like the same authors, that like the same TV shows, that like and play and play and play and tweak and build your perfect audience. So there you go. That's it for today. I went way over, but I'm getting better.